What does 2024 hold for Ukraine? A question that is more than just a matter of curiosity. As we stand on the brink of a potential paradigm shift, Ukraine finds itself in a critical situation, grappling with a shortage of ammunition, troops, and air defenses. The much-anticipated counter-offensive of last year fell short of expectations, unable to reclaim the ground seized by Russian forces. Now, the specter of a Russian summer offensive looms ominously. This impending threat is not a mere hypothesis. It's a dark cloud on the horizon that could potentially alter the course of Ukraine's future. The situation is fluid, the stakes are high, and the outcome is far from certain. As we delve deeper, we explore the viewpoints of military experts who shed light on the potential outcomes. The future of Ukraine in 2024 is a story still being written, and its pages are filled with anticipation, apprehension, and hope. General Sir Richard Barrons, former commander of the UK's Joint Forces Command, paints a grim picture for Ukraine. He has voiced his concern that Ukraine may face defeat by Russia this year due to a serious risk of dwindling morale. When a nation begins to feel it can't win, the will to fight and die for the cause can slip away. Ukraine, he says, is not at that point yet. But they are running critically low on ammunition, troops, and air defenses. Their counter-offensive last year failed to dislodge the Russians from the ground they had taken. Now, Moscow is preparing for a summer offensive. Barrons outlines the shape of the upcoming Russian offensive, which he believes to be quite clear. Russia is relentlessly battering the front line, employing a 5-to-1 advantage in artillery and ammunition. They also have a surplus of personnel, strengthened by the use of new weapons. One such weapon is the Fab glide bomb, an adapted Soviet-era dumb bomb. It's been fitted with fins, GPS guidance, and contains 1,500 kilograms of high explosives. This weapon is causing significant damage to Ukraine's defenses. Barrons foresees a major Russian offensive this summer, aimed at breaking through Ukrainian lines. If this happens, there is a real risk of Russian forces exploiting areas of Ukraine that the Ukrainian armed forces cannot defend. But the question remains, where will the main front be? To answer that, we turn to another expert, Dr. Jack Watling. Dr. Jack Watling, Senior Research Fellow in Land Warfare at the Whitehall think tank, the Royal United Services Institute, provides further insight into Ukraine's dilemma. According to Dr. Watling, the challenges Ukraine faces are unique and daunting. With a front line that stretches for miles, the task of defending every inch becomes a Herculean feat. Ukraine, despite its resilience and determination, may find this an insurmountable obstacle. Dr. Watling doesn't mince words when he says, the Ukrainians need to be able to defend all of it. But the reality is stark, and the truth, painful. Ukraine, as Dr. Watling predicts, will lose ground. The question isn't if, but when, and to what extent. And with the loss of ground comes the impact on the people and places that make up Ukraine. Which population centers will be affected? How much of their home will Ukrainians have to cede? The uncertainty of these questions adds to the growing anxiety and fear. Dr. Watling's analysis paints a grim picture, but it's a necessary one. By understanding the challenges that lie ahead, Ukraine, and those who stand with it, can better prepare for what's to come. It's a sobering reminder of the reality of war and the high stakes involved. With all these insights, it's clear that Ukraine's future hangs in the balance. But what are the potential outcomes? The possible outcomes for Ukraine in 2024 are as complex as they are numerous. Let's consider one potential scenario: the fall of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second-largest city. Perched precariously close to the Russian border, Kharkiv is under constant bombardment. Its defenses stretch thin against a relentless onslaught of drones, cruise, and ballistic missiles. Now, should Kharkiv fall, it would strike a devastating blow to Ukraine's morale and economy. But could Ukraine still function? Analysts believe it could, but not without facing significant challenges. The loss of a city as vital as Kharkiv would undoubtedly alter the landscape of the conflict, creating a ripple effect that could impact every corner of the nation. It's a grim scenario, yet it's just one of many possibilities that could unfold in this geopolitical chess match. As 2024 unfolds, Ukraine's future remains uncertain, but the world watches, hopes, and waits.